Okay, got another game here. Me versus... what is this guy's name? New Magic Lair, playing Venser. Very mediocre blue commander. No real inherent card advantage. I guess a little bit of tempo for 4 mana. I don't know, to me this effect is just not worth the commander slot, given the other mono blue commanders like Azami and Vindalian Click is certainly better. And then the bigger ones like Jin Gitaxias. I have a mulligan hand into this hand, which is quite awesome. Minus a quick acceleration, but barring my opponent having turn 1 Soul Ring or Mana Crypt, we're in good shape. So much for that. Once again, going second against turn 1 Soul Ring and a mulligan. Common theme. I love the fairies here just as a way of putting some extra pressure on him. He ponders, so he doesn't even have a second blue. And now I'm going to deal with 2 Soul Rings. 6 mana versus 1. Regrowth. So I put out the Sylvan. My hope is honestly that he just casts Venser immediately and bounces the Sylvan. I don't have to worry about it. I mean, I think that would probably be the correct play, given that I don't know what all is in his hand. I assume that he would actually probably just get a Strip Mine here. Another option would be for him to get a Strip Mine or a Wasteland, untap, destroy the breeding pool, and then Venser my other land, which would be pretty disastrous, given that it would be 6-0. But he gets Academy Ruins. I guess to recur this thing later. So 6 mana, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what am I going to face here? Frost Titan. Capsize with buyback on my land on turn 3. Pretty devastating. But I top deck Mana Drain. So incredible. And of course, I just take that full damage. I see a Jitte in there, which is pretty nice too. So it just says go here. I was really hoping he would just tap out and feed me 3 mana for my main step here before I even had to do anything. It totally changes what I have to do. I put the Hermit back because I'm not sure if I really want him and if I want to pay the life. So I just say done. Obviously plenty of options here, but his Venser and his Capsize are bigger problems. So I'm just sitting here going, goddamn, please don't have like Mana Leak or Negate or something. And it goes through, which is awesome. Tectonic Edge. There's Hermit. Opposition. Beautiful. So I'm just going to pay some life here, since I have plans to cast plenty of spells this turn. So I'm casting these things all as bait. I kind of really want to get either the opposition or the sword out. I figure, well, I'll just cast a sword then. You can Venser that. But he's got Mana Drain. Kills my land. And I guess the temptation of having 3 blue available is just too much. He has to put Teferi out. So I see Symbiote and Wood Elves in there. And I actually made a clicking mistake here. My plan was to let the Yavimaya Coast go, given that I've got 2 other land, and to pick up these 2, but I clicked the wrong 2. And ultimately decided I didn't want to pay 8 more life with a Teferi in play just to get a Wood Elves, even though it would ramp the Priest of Titania. But now it's time for opposition, figuring he doesn't have a negate, because he would have probably used it before. And this at least allows me to slow him down, plus the combination of Symbiote and Priest of Titania and untapping, and obviously this guy coming online in a turn or 2. Gives me a really, really good long-term plan here. Just going to cripple this man a little bit there. I don't really mind the damage too much, given that I've got Jitte out. Oh, I see Terastodon and a land. So I cast Symbiote. He thinks for a while about that. And I cast Edric. And here he casts Cryptic Command, and he uses the tap ability, even though he only has 1 card in hand, which I think is probably a little bit greedy, and especially given that I do have Symbiote in play. So I float a mana off my elf, everyone gets tapped, and I use the Symbiote to return the elf, because I really want to get Jitte counters, not only to offset the damage I'm taking, but also to potentially kill Teferi next turn, and at least force him to use Venser on his turn. He just plays a land, he attacks. There's a Terastodon again. Trinket Mage is really, really handy. We're just going to put those 2 back. And now I'm forcing him basically to use his Venser to prevent me from getting Jitte counters. And I love the fact that bouncing Cloud of Fairies does nothing. in terms of tempo. I'm just going to take the damage here. And I'm pretty sure this is going to go through. I just read this guy doesn't have any more counters. So now I've got his Teferi, and I'm going to cast a Priest too. 4 tapping things. I don't mind taking the hit here. He casts Control Magic on Teferi, which is fine, because that makes the ultimate opening for the guy with the most synergy of all with opposition. So I'm going to get that Soul Ring. Booyah. Look at all those guys. And apropos what Nate was talking about, I've got this combo in play. Symbiote and Deranged Hermit with opposition out. And I've got 4 counters on the Jitte too, and I'm hoping my opponent will walk into a mistake here after I tap all of his mana. Sure enough, untap the Cloud, block, pump, pump. Free trade, game over. Just like that. And I actually had the ability to cast Terrastodon next turn. I probably would have blown up a couple of my own things, given him maybe like 1 elephant, and I would get a 9/9 and 2 3/3s to continue to tap more stuff and then just beat his face in with it. But pretty glorious comeback right there against turn 1 Soul Ring going second, followed by turn 2 Soul Ring, and turn 3 Capsize with buyback on a land. Pretty quick little game. Hopefully more to come.